Hey yo, podcast. Pa 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 pa. I didn't start my normal podcast intro with the like pa 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 pa. I tried to sneak it in there, but right there at the end. But I don't know. I just forgot to do it this weekend. So weekday. It's Tuesday. So yeah. So anyways, I know I was going on about the bi-weekly episodes last week, but this week I got some time. I've got some time to podcast, and so I figured I'd hop on, get some things off my chest. What else? And I guess talk about football. I think this is gonna be a short one. I think we're gonna keep it to like a tight 30. So we can get through that. Kind of all over the place right now. I'm like looking through my YouTube, just looking at all the different headlines, and it's kind of stark contrast. I got like a Michigan versus Michigan State hype video. I've got Cody Ko on here. I've got some like YouTube shorts with like that one guy, Steven something, that does like he like picks up girls or he like gets all their phone numbers. Then I've got Trump gives Bush a low 5 after debate joke. And then next up is breaking news from Israel and Palestine about, that stuff. So yeah, all over the place, and tough to get my head straight kind of as we start the podcast here, but we'll just hop right into it. Oh, not top 10. I'm also going to check that out real quick. I'm going to open that tab up. But yeah, so we'll get into it. We just wrapped up week 6. So the season is flying by. I thought the first few weeks of the season kind of went by maybe a little slow, but I would say after week 3, the last 3 weeks have just flown by. It's just breezed by. And it's been really fun. It's been a good season so far. Maybe a little less engagement amongst everyone. Maybe not engagement's the right word, but like maybe engagement with the football games. Like I feel like we're really not texting about the football. Like I feel like last year for some reason we were texting a lot about the games, but this year we've been a little bit more quiet, which is no big deal. I think there's been plenty of engagement in fantasy. I've had tons of trade talks between me and Tristan, between me and Matt even. Aaron and I have sent each other a couple trades. I know I've had some great listenings to the podcast. I have a lot of support on the podcast this year so far, which has been awesome. And some of the talk from the power rankings. So I guess I can't say engagement because I think people have definitely been engaged. So I don't know where I was going with that. I guess I was talking myself out of it, and I'm thinking that no, it has been indeed a great season of fantasy so far, and almost kind of like they were saying at the beginning of the college football season, a lot of parity. There's no one team that I'm looking at right now that I think is just dominating, is going to take the league by storm. We got a lot of teams close together, and we'll get into that. So just to kind of recap the scoreboard, because I got to put it on my little spreadsheet here so I can, make the power rankings and keep all this. I really feel like this data might be wasted. It's not that wasted because I do kind of like having it for all the power rankings, but I do, keep the scores, and then I've got, a points plot and a points against plot, and the week by week power rankings. So I think it's not wasted data, but because it does seem like ESPN is doing a good job of storing data now. Like they've got the team recaps. They've got, you can go back a couple of years and check out, your score still. I think we can go all the way back to pause real quick. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's like a rolling thing. But I thought you used to be able to go all the way back to 2018 and see the individual team scores, but right now we can just go back to 2019. Like for example, week 1, Alex against Matthew. I can go back and I can see who Alex had starting and the points scored, and then I can see who Matthew had starting, and the points scored, and it's actually very fascinating. If we just want to take a look really quickly, this was Alex's 2019 team. Mind you, he won this game, 123-88. Alex had Carson Wentz, Christian McCaffrey, Nick Chubb, Antonio Brown, Robert Woods, Hunter Henry, Derrick Henry. Oh my God, what a running back group. Vikings defense / special teams, Adam Vinatieri, Alshon Jeffrey, wow, throwback name, Jarvis Landry, Corey Davis, Larry Fitzgerald, Darwin Thompson, Eric Ebron, and Phillip Rivers. And so Carson Wentz, 24 points in that game. Christian McCaffrey, 32 points week 1. In a loss to the Rams, mind you. Nick Chubb, 8 points. Antonio Brown was a free agent, scored a whopping 0 points for Alex that weekend, yet Alex still scored 123 points. Robert Woods, 8 points. Hunter Henry, 6 points. Derrick Henry, 27 points. So his running backs combined for 67 total points. Very unreal. Vikings defense, 15. Adam Vinatieri, 3. Adam Vinatieri is also a throwback name. But wow, that's kind of crazy that Alex had a free agent wide receiver. Yeah, I mean, you just know that he was not paying attention to him at all. So he was drafted first round, 3rd overall by Alex in that year. Our draft was Tuesday, August 27th at 10:24. Does that sound about right? Sounds about right. Let's see where Derrick Henry got taken. 4th round. Alex got him in the 4th round. Nick Chubb. Alex got him in the 3rd round. And actually traded from Tim Tebow scares me shirtless to me for Julio Jones. I got Nick Chubb, who finished 6th as a running back. And he had pretty good scoreline. That is crazy. Oh my gosh. Finished, yeah, wow. See, that's, okay, see, I'm not keeping track of that stuff, and I almost wish I was. So I'm glad ESPN is keeping track of that stuff. Trades and all that. I don't know where I'm going with this other than maybe I shouldn't be keeping track of the points so much as the trades. That would just be a lot of work, though. That'd be a lot of work. And I think they do track league activity, but I'm not going to bother going back to that. Just to also throw it to Matthew real quick. I didn't even realize that Kyler Murray was in the league, but Kyler Murray was in the league in 2019. Matthew had him, started him, got 21 points. Matthew also had Leonard Fournette, Kenyon Drake, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones. So I got Julio Jones from Matthew and gave him to Alex. That's funny. George Kittle, Chris Godwin, Eagles defense, Robbie Gould, Allen Robinson III, Tariq Cohen, Will Fuller V, Nyheim Hines, Dante Pettis, Jared Goff, and Adam Humphries. Both teams, or Alex ended up going 7-6 that season. Matthew 5-8. Let's see where Julio Jones finished as wide receiver number 5. So that ended up being a pretty good trade between me and Alex. Never forget though, I'm pretty sure Matthew won the 2019 league. So anyways, yeah, Matthew's team ended up working out just fine, but tough loss in week 1 there. This is so fascinating. So yeah, Julio Jones. Let's see when I got him from Matthew. Okay, traded from Wash King Revenge Season to Chalupa Batman. Wash King Revenge Season traded Kenyon Drake, Arizona running back, to Chalupa Batman. And Chalupa Batman traded Le'Veon Bell and Brandon Cooks. So me and Matthew had 2 trades in this season. The first trade was Kenyon Drake to me. I gave him Le'Veon Bell and Brandon Cooks. Wow, that's a fascinating trade. And then I traded... Oh, okay. No. Matthew traded Julio Jones and Kenyon Drake for Le'Veon Bell and Brandon Cooks. And then I went on to trade Julio Jones. That's so fascinating. Man, the league was cooking. What was I cooking in 2019? How did I roster finish? I don't think I finished very well. I finished with a 7-6 record. I also acquired I was trading all over the place. I acquired Tyler Lockett for Marlon Mack and John Brown. Tyler Lockett finished 13th overall that season. Where did Nick Chubb finish again? 6th. Kenyon Drake finished 18. So I kind of took a wash on that. I got Matt Gay in a trade. Luke picked up Matt Gay, then dropped him. Then Zach picked him up. That's hilarious. And then we traded kicker for kicker. Joey Sly from... I traded Zach Joey Sly for Matt Gay, who finished 4th. That... The heck is happening outside? That is hilarious. I was cooking something up. That's so great, though. So the league was cooking. The league had some trades in 2019. What a good year. John Brown, where the hell did he finish? He finished 18th. So maybe it wasn't a terribly crazy trade for Connor, but John Brown has gone into, what do you call it? Marlon Mack didn't even finish on my roster. I ended up dropping him. This is great. I would suggest everyone goes back and looks at this league history. Now I want to go to 2020, because were there any trades then? League history. All right, sorry, fellas. I got to know now. Because really, I feel like, I've been in some blockbuster trades, but I really don't think there have been crazy trades ever since. Not crazy, but we don't really have many trades per season. Let's see. Obviously, last year there was 2 crazy trades back to back with me and Tristan and Aaron. 2020. Let me just control F it. Trade. No trades in 2020. No players acquired from a trade in 2020. Craziness. So can I go... There's no easy way to switch between rosters, unfortunately. Let me go... So we were just looking at 2019. Let me just okay. Humor me. One more. Just want to see 2018. Were there any big trades? No trades in 2018. Is that true? No, they didn't track it. It's just not tracked in 2018, that's all. Which is a bummer. So maybe I should start tracking it. Or maybe... Yeah, maybe I should start tracking it. I don't know. Leave a comment. Do you guys think I should start tracking trades? It's not like we do it often, but I feel like it'd be worth it. So yeah, leave a comment if you want me to start tracking trades. 2020, no big trades. 2021, there was definitely some trades. I remember making a trade. I made a trade with Tristan that got me to the championship. Me and him to the championship. I got Josh Allen, and I sent him Antonio Gibson and Elijah Mitchell. He was also involved in one other trade. Oh, excuse me. No, that was completely wrong. Aaron gave... Wow. How did I get Josh Allen? Did Aaron have Josh Allen? Wow. 1-for-1. Josh Allen for Antonio Gibson. Unbelievable. Did Antonio Gibson have a good year? He finished 10th. So he was having a pretty good year. It's 1-for-1 trade swap. Unbelievable. I guess that's because Tristan had Daddy Hurtson. And let's check out this Aaron and Tristan trade. Oh, that was the back-to-back trade year or something. Or have we done it twice? Maybe we've done it twice. Did we have any trades in 22? I thought we did, but maybe this is the trade I was thinking of. Because Friday, September 24th. Friday, September 24th at 7 p.m., Tristan traded me, Josh Allen, for Antonio Gibson. Earlier that day, Friday, September 24th at... Sorry, 1 second. At 12:51 p.m., Aaron traded away Elijah Mitchell and Michael Pittman for Myles Gaskin and Devonta Smith. Tristan sent Myles Gaskin and Devonta Smith to Aaron. Unbelievable. Oh, there's another trade. Oh, wow. So the 2020 trades were popping off. Because, wow, this is a big one. Late in the season, Aaron traded. I've said traded way too much now. Brandon Ayuk, Darren Williams, and Pratt Freiermuth for Mike Gesicki and Kadarius Toney. How the hell did that work out? I mean, Connor finished with an 11-3 record. So obviously it had to have worked out somewhat. Crikey. So 2021 was also a good year for trades. So I'm expecting a lot of trades this year then, I suppose. Skips a year. Seems to skip a year. There was another trade for Aaron because Aaron somehow ended up with T. Higgins. What? A 1-for-1 trade, T. Higgins for Dearness Johnson. Okay, I'm very biased because of how highly rated T. Higgins is now. He finished 17th that year, so it's not crazy. It's not crazy to say. It's not that crazy. It's not crazy. It's not crazy to say that. Unbelievable. So then maybe, okay. God, sorry, fellas. Humor me one last time. My mind is getting blown right now for some reason. Just because I forget, I suppose. Okay, there were a couple trades in 2022. Let's see. This was a big one. Wednesday, November 9th at 11:08 p.m. Tristan sent to Aaron T. Higgins, DeAndre Swift, and the Ravens defense for Austin Eckler. Unbelievable. A 3-for-1. How the heck did they get away with that? Wow. 3 picks. I mean, Eckler finished 4th overall, so another big trade was, wow, yeah, I forgot I did this. Stephon Diggs, who finished wide receiver 5 for Josh Jacobs, who finished running back 1. So that worked out well for me. I don't know when I got him. Well, actually, I can check it out. November 9th. What game week was that, though? I'm not sure. What would November 9th be? So if we're in game week 6 and it's mid-October, early November would be like game week 8 or 9. So he had just dropped a 33-point game. He was a bit cold at 5.4 and 8.7. Then he went on to score 16-6, 16-0, 42-3, 19-0, 17-4, 11-0. I think that trade worked out for me very well. So that had some big names traded around. Let's see, because DeAndre Swift he was part of the Austin Eckler trade. I think that was just good business by Tristan. Or no, it had to have been bad business because Tristan ended up 7-7. It just didn't come together for him. Wow. Anyways, that was, I don't know about you guys, but that was exciting for me. Like seeing all those old trades. That was a long segment. Oh my God, I can't believe I talked about that for 20 minutes. We're not even into the episode yet. Okay, let's get into the episode. All right, fellers. We'll just go through the matchups real quick since I just spent 20 minutes reminiscing about old trades, which I'm sure was probably boring as hell. But matchups, I said I was going to do that, and then I got totally distracted by trades. And I just wanted to look at matchups because I wanted to take the tally down. So we'll start from where the league likes to schedule on. And that first game is Tristan against Connor. Tristan's got a good point. He said he scored the second highest points in the league, which is true. So he would have beaten anyone else this week had he played anyone else, but he still didn't get a very, quote, good score. Very good against the mean, but not very good in general. Score finished 104.76 for Connor. I'm being lazy here. Sorry, fellas. You know what? I'll do this. I'll do that after the podcast. So Connor's team had another good week. And if you read the power rankings last week, you will know that bodes well for Connor. Connor's doing very well, especially with Raheem Must Start, as I've liked to call him. I know I think I was talking about him at the beginning, at the early podcast episodes. I was saying how he's my guy, and it definitely sucks that I didn't get him. And I was kind of down on him because, he's, quote, a little bit older, and Jeff Wilson Jr. kind of seemed to be the guy in the Dolphins last year. But this year, all three of them, two of them, Mostert and A-Chain, seeming to be that guy. So, anyways, Tristan's team finally kind of excelled. You had Derrick Henry, Travis Etienne, Jalen Wilder, Jacoby Myers, all doing what they needed to do. It was his quarterback play that ended up pretty weak. And he wasn't able to get it away. So Tristan's at the bottom of the league with a 2-4 record. It stinks. No one likes to be at the bottom of the league. No one likes to be 10th. It's been a tough season for Tristan. We'll move on to next on the list. Looks like me against Aiden. I got lucky, fellers. I got lucky. Snuck away with that one. I mean, I technically did put up, 1, 2, 3. I put up the 4th best score, so I would have beaten 6 other teams in the league, which kind of absolves me a little bit. But boy, howdy, did I get lucky still. I'm still counting as lucky. I'll take it, though. Never apologize for a win, but CeeDee Lamb was creeping up all night Monday night. I was rocking there. I was watching half the game with my dad, and he kept getting more yards and more yards and more yards. I think he had 60 to end the first quarter. Excuse me, not quarter, half. And I could not help but think, oh, brother, the moment he scores a touchdown, that's it. And somehow, for some reason, he kept getting yards, but then the Dallas offense just sucks in the red zone. So I got lucky with that. So I got away with a win. I'm happy with how my team did. I think Aiden should be pretty happy with how his team did. Very similar to Tristan. It was the quarterback play that held him back. He should have started Dak Prescott. I mean, Aiden really should have probably had one of the best scores in the league. He should have started Dak Prescott. Probably should have started Keenan Allen. You can't blame him. Cannot blame him for starting Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb. It's a great pairing. And he really isn't too far off with that Zay Flowers play either. Zay Flowers got 11.1 points. Keenan Allen 14.5. So Aiden's team did fine. I mean, he's still got a championship roster. This is still very much a championship roster that he's got. And his bench feels deep enough to me that if he does not pay too much attention, which he's got a few bye weeks, but I think this week's going to be rough. This week's going to be rough for him. He's got to make a couple pickups because he's in trouble. Who's he facing this week? He's facing Connor. Connor's putting together a little something here. Because he might have an easy matchup here. He's got Kirk Cousins. Because Dak Prescott's on bye, so Aiden has to play Kirk Cousins again. He's got Kirk Cousins Monday Night Football against San Francisco. That's going to be rough. Joe Mixon's on bye. Jamar Chase is on bye. CeeDee Lamb's on bye. So he's going to have to start Zay Flowers. He's going to have to start Keenan Allen. And he's going to have to start either Ezekiel Elliott or Jerry Jeudy, who they want to get rid of. And Cameron Dicker, I don't know why I even said his name, but he's just on Aiden's bench for some reason. So it's Connor, he's playing very well, but he's definitely playing some favorable matchups right now. I do like Aiden's team, though. I was about to say, the reason this all came up was I was going to say his bench has good depth, but this week, horrible depth. And actually, in general, kind of horrible depth. I mean, he's got Cleo Herbert on IR. He's got Ezekiel Elliott, Cameron Dicker, Juwan Johnson, Dak Prescott. Jerry Jeudy and Keenan Allen are kind of the only good bench players. And really, it's only Keenan Allen that's a good bench player. So I'm kind of talking myself out of Aiden right now. I don't think Aiden's got a bad team, but I am talking myself out unless Aiden starts to take care of this team. If he starts to take care of this team, he's got a championship roster. Let's move on. I've talked too long on that. Next matchup on the list is Luke against Matt. Oh, this was one that I was excited for. I was excited for this matchup for sure because, you've got how do I want to say it? You've kind of got like okay, well, Luke is a blue blood. Obviously, you've got a blue blood who's playing very well this year. He's first in the league right now. He's, it's like Kansas being Kansas or Duke being Duke. And then you've got Matt, who's usually not very good, but every couple of years he puts together a fantastic team. Can someone help me in the comments with who that might be? I want to say like St. John's or one of like a Big East team, like, right, like one of those guys. That they're most often not in the tournament, but then every now and then they pop up as like a 5 seed in the tournament, and you're like, oh, I remember those guys. Wichita State, maybe that's a good one. Matt's kind of like a Wichita State. You see him every now and then, and they're whenever they're good, they're good. And so it was the billing was pretty exciting, and I was excited for it. Two programs headed in seemingly different directions, and yet it came out with a blockbustery game. It finished with just .198 points of separation. I hope I did that math right in my head. Let's verify real quick. 83.9. Final score, by the way, was 83.9 to 81.92. So, yeah, 1.98 points. Did I say .198? I meant to say 1.98. So, 1.98 point separation. Big performance from Tyreek Hill for Luke. Because if Tyreek Hill did not beat Tyreek Hill this week, Luke probably would have lost. Because the rest of his team, kind of okay. There was only 2 10-plus point performances. One was Tyreek Hill. The other one was Dan Carlson. So kind of, a weak bench performance. Jahmyr Gibbs being out injured doesn't help. But Matt, kind of disappointing loss. Like, he had some great play. He had Justin Tucker, 18 points. Cooper Kupp, 20 points. Lamar Jackson got a fair enough 17 points. Christian McCaffrey, 2 points. And this is the other thing. Like, Luke kind of got away with this one. Kind of like how I got away with one against Aiden. Luke kind of got away with this. If Christian McCaffrey doesn't get injured, Matt's winning this game. There's no way Christian McCaffrey doesn't get at least 20 more yards in this game somehow if he doesn't go out injured. So, crazy. And then, I guess to kind of go off my point, Justice Hill for Matt only got 3.5 points. Justice Hill is a weird play. DJ Moore, quote, only got 5.1 points. I guess that is kind of an only, isn't it? DeAndre Hopkins only got 2-0. Zach Ertz only got 2-2. Patriots defense only got 2. So from 1, 2, 3 players, 4 players even, he only got 10 points, which is, pretty weak. So Matt really kind of fumbled this one. I think the curse of number 1 got him. So that's definitely a bummer to see, but it definitely kind of fit the billing. It lived up to expectations. It was a fun, good game. All right, and then the other game that came down to, I would say, I think this was came down to Sunday night rather than a Monday night, or was it Sunday night? Monday night. Yeah, it was Sunday night. It came down to Sunday night. Alex versus Zach, again, a very same side of the standings matchup. This was kind of a relegation 6-pointer, as some would say. It brought Alex up. It got Alex's second win of the season, second win in a row, and it pushed Zach down to a 2-4 record. And Zach's on continuing his slide right now. I think that's 3 straight weeks of 70 points. So tough middle of the season, tough second quarter of the season for Zach here. And, I don't know who to point fingers at, but just the team itself is not coming together. Gabe Davis had a rough night. Did Gabe Davis really do that bad? 0.1 points? What happened? I thought he had a couple receptions. He had 3 receptions, so he fumbled. I didn't realize. I forgot about that, or I didn't see it. I don't know. Patrick Mahomes is doing well. Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey link-ups been doing well. The running back play for Zach is mid. The wide receiver play for Zach was bad this week. Pekka Nakua is still, top 10 wide receiver. Devonta Smith has been probably one of the most disappointing picks. Drafted 5th overall fifth round, 44th overall, and he's playing like a position. He's playing worse than it. Position rank 35, so he's probably like 70th right now in total. Great start to the season. Very quiet ever since. And then let's give some props to Alex. I mean, he deserves some airtime. Breece Hall putting in work. Amon-Ra putting in work. Tua putting in work. I'm glad to see Tua's finally starting. Huge bummer that Justin Jefferson is out. I mean, again, Alex's team would probably be pretty sneaky good if Justin Jefferson gets healthy again soon, hopefully. Christian Kirk is kind of waking up a little bit the past couple weeks. Maybe it was just this week, but it's felt like, no, it's been the past. He's been very steady. Now that I'm looking at it, starting from week 2, we got 10.9, 11.4, 8.4, 8.4, 10.9. So pretty steady stuff. And then of course, Devon A-Chain on the bench. So Alex has himself a roster. He'll be fine the rest of the season. All right, let's wrap up these matchups. I know Matthew's always looking forward to his airtime, but unfortunately, I've just dragged on too long. So let's get around to this. And then we'll just make a couple last few comments. But Matthew, I mean, everyone that won this week snuck away with it, except for Alex. Everyone who lost got unlucky. Aiden unlucky to lose by 5. Matt unlucky to lose by 1.98. And then here we've got, and then again, Tristan unlucky that he's 88, second highest in the league, and losing. And then we've got Aaron losing by, what is this, 2.6-ish points to Matthew, 84.18 to Matthew, 81.34 to Aaron. This was a big game. Both teams, looking at this, both teams could have come out of this at 3-3, but Aaron drops down to a 2-4 record. Matthew improves to 4-2. He's sitting 4th in the league. Aaron's sitting 7th in the league. And Aaron's team, I think he's fine. I mean, it 1, 2, 3, 4, 10+ point performances. Matthew, kind of quote got lucky. Yes, you get lucky, but also you make good plays, and he made a good play at playing the Vikings defense. That was well done. Did he pick him up? That's what I want to see. Matthew added Wednesday, October 11th, so he did. He added him from waivers and made that play, and it was a game-changing play. Matthew's very good off the waivers, as we know. And Matthew's bench even had a pretty good performance, 9 points from Wilson. So I'm sure he's looking at his team, and he's feeling pretty rest assured, and I don't blame him. He should. He's got a lot of great names, got a lot of great players out there, and really nothing to worry about. I mean, 84.18 is pretty bang average for the league this week. He would have beat a lot of other teams. Would beat 1, 2, 3, 4 other teams. So yeah, that's he's done well. All right, so kind of going off of that, I just want to take a moment to talk about the standings. Like, first of all, go back to my Blue Blood reference. 1 second, there's something funny on my calendar. Oh yeah, Delta Airlines. Okay. Blue Bloods are at the top. Of the top 4, Luke, myself, and Matthew are 1, 3, and 4. So we've, if you look at like the quote GOAT rankings that Matthew assembled and I've loosely held together for the past couple of years, me, Luke, myself, Luke, and Matthew are all there in the top 3, top 4. So we're just kind of flexing our muscles, showing who's boss. And then obviously Matt, showing bits of his brilliant 2019 performance, starting the season 4-2, and currently sits with a 72% chance to make the playoffs. Has, quote, a fairly easy schedule. He has to face everyone, but he does kind of get, based on obviously the schedule is based on last season's performances, but this season he's getting similar looks. So if we go check out who his 4 teams are, it's Aiden, Tristan, Alex, and Connor. Actually, I do kind of want to amend that because Connor's on the up and up. Alex is on the up and up. Tristan, yeah, he's on the up and up technically. I mean, still in general, his team week by week is kind of staying steady. And then Aiden's on the up and up. So actually, I was going to say Matt's maybe got an easy look, but this last stretch of the season is going to be, now that I'm looking at it, it's going to be very tough for Matt. He's got to go face Tristan, who's on the up and up. He's got to face Connor, who's been doing very well. Then he's got Matthew, then Aiden, then Tristan, Alex, and Connor again. So I don't know if he keeps the squad together, if he keeps the upkeep. I think he's definitely looking at a shot in the playoffs, but he could also easily, lose one. I'm gonna give him a loss against Connor. I'm gonna give him a loss against Aiden. I'm gonna give him a loss against Alex, and then Connor again. So he could easily lose 4 out of these last, 7 games. So that would put him at 7-6, which might be enough with the way that the league's going. But anyways, well done to Matt. And so yeah, just want to say Blue Bloods are at the top, the typical faces. And then, but it just in general, the league points for distribution is tight. The highest points for is 566.62. The lowest is 510. So that spread, I didn't do my research. I did want to do this now that I say it, but I did want to do this research to see where people stand. Or excuse me, where the league stands in compared to previous seasons. I guess I can pull it up real quick. Let's just look, random sample 2021. We'll do 2021. Power rankings. Let's go to week 6 power rankings. The highest points for then was 713. The lowest points for then was 437. So there is something, at least compared to 2021, in it that this year it's very tight. A spread of, 40 compared with over 50, compared with over 200 just 2 years ago. And amongst the top, and if you discount Tristan, the next lowest is 541.52. So even tighter, a 25-point gap. It halves with taking Tristan off that gap. So just crazy tight how it all is. Oh my God, I didn't even see Aiden. I don't know why I'm looking at him. Aiden's got 570. So sorry, Aiden, didn't mean the disrespect there. I was looking at Luke's points for. He's at 566, but Aiden is at 571.4. But anyway, still very tight. Points against in that matter is also pretty tight. Only 100 points separation. And if we go back to 2021, the points against separation, closed out the window like a dummy. Points against separation, the highest points for was 669, while the lowest, points against was 669, while the lowest points against was 542. So 120 point separation. While this year the separation is only about 100. So just really tight league, and I think that's what's making it so fun and interesting, is it's still just so wide open. Like any of these 2 and 4 teams can make a race and make a break for it. And any of the 4 and 2 teams can easily fall off. So it's really anyone's league. The playoff race is wide open. Again, five teams make the playoff. Maybe I expand it to 6 if we get some traction. Drop a comment if you like it. And then also just looking at it, because I'm looking at it right now, the home and away records is kind of fun. Luke's 1-1 at home, away 3-1, so he's good on the road, and that seems to be the factor for the top 3 teams. Luke's 3-1 away. Matt is 2-0 away. I'm 3-0 away. While Matt is 2-2 at home, I'm 1-2 at home. Luke is 1-1 at home. Matthew kind of puts a wrinkle in that, but he's 4th. So since he's not quite a podium Matt, he's only 1.64 points away from being podium. But he's 3-1 at home. And so, yeah. So anyways, I feel like in years past, there have been a lot of lucky teams, or, you can point fingers and be like, oh, he's getting so lucky. But really the spread is not that crazy this year, even in the points against. The points for, everyone's grinding, everyone's putting up the same numbers, but at the same time, everyone's facing pretty similar adversity. I guess you could, I mean, yes, me, Matt, and Luke have definitely faced the least adversity, but Matthew's only 8 points against behind me. Aiden's had the most adversity with 560, or excuse me, not the most, but he's had a decent helping of adversity with 560, and that's a little bit, I'm sure, why he's sitting at 3-3, even with the highest points for. And then you really can't even say that like Aaron or Alex or Zach haven't earned it, because they're only 30 points for behind, the leaders, not even 20 points behind the leaders. So it's really that they faced, quote, the most adversity. We're sitting with 600 points against, 603 points against. So anyways, just it's a really interesting season this year. It's been fun. All right, and then for the last segment today, I just want to get on my soapbox real quick. We had a little chat in the why is Delta Airlines telling me to check in? A little talk in the chat about waivers and, scoring points. And I guess I just wanted to air it out for me. I think that waivers, the reverse order of that week's standings is the way to go. I mean, whoever's doing bad is going to get priority. And Connor is, I feel like, proof, again, like I said, proof of boots, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. He was bottom of the league, getting waiver priority 1 and 2 for the first few weeks, and he's made a run. He's now 3-3. He's got some of the best points for in the league, so he shouldn't be complaining. It's perfectly fair to, in my opinion, to the teams at the bottom of the league. There haven't been a lot of great waiver picks this year, I think. Maybe that's what he's kind of in a tough about, but he's taken, Kyle Pitts off the free agency. He's picked up Kareem Hunt, Jameson Williams, Jaleel McLaughlin, and Jahan Dotson. Like, JMO is a great free agent pickup. It'll work out well for the end, I'm sure. And then he's got a good draft. So, I mean, the best way to win in fantasy is not like, yeah, the waivers matter, but it's not I don't know. I guess the other point that was kind of making me, riled up a little bit was his complaint, like, oh, we should play against the median. I don't know. I don't like that at all. And I was way more impassioned when I wrote this down. I've got some notes. I'm not so impassioned as that right now, but my keys to winning in fantasy that I've got written down here are: 1, have a good draft. Put in, you don't even need to put in that much work. Put in like a week of work ahead of time, and you're probably going to have a good draft. All you really need to figure out is, okay, well, where are players falling? Where are players falling? If they're falling in a spot that's good for me, then I want to get that guy, there. I don't have to worry. But if they're, going early, then yeah, reach a little bit. It's not a big deal to reach if you want to get your players. And then number 2, play the right players. Like, it's, it does come down to luck, but again, just a tiny bit of research. Listen to, one episode of Part of My Take, and they, it's not like great research, but they do have insight because they watch week in, week out, and they know all the, Jake's nerd nuggets, and they know all the funny stats, and the, Kyle Shanahan can't play well against Jim Schwartz's defense. That turned out to be true. None of the San Fran players had a great week. So a little bit to do with injury, no doubt about it. But if you just, do a little bit of research, heck, even just look at the dumb little green versus red, just take that into account. Try to get as many greens in. Try to get as many grays in as you can. Heck, make that a priority off the waiver. If you see someone with a green on the waiver, try to go get that guy. So just play the right players. Doesn't take much. Number 3, make the right acquisitions. Again, Connor's claiming that, it's tougher for the bottom teams. It really shouldn't be. The top teams are the ones that had a good draft, so they don't, they get the bottom of the barrel picks, but still, you can make the right acquisitions wherever you are. We've seen it with Matthew. Matthew's he picked up the Vikings defense. He made the right pick. Vikings defense was the right pick, and it got him the win this week. And number 4, I don't know what this means. I said, don't be afraid of a trade. I think I was meant to say trade. Circle back to the beginning of the episode. Make a trade. Like if you don't like the way your team looks and you don't think that free agency is helping you for some reason, or waiver wire, then make a trade. We've seen in the past that trades work. Me and Tristan's trade benefited both of us. We both made it to the championship in 2019. Matthew made trades, and guess what? He won the league. He got players he wanted, and he won the league. 2021, also indicative of that. Tristan won the league with trades. 2022, some of the top teams had trades. So don't be afraid of a trade. Send out offers. Make stuff happen. And so I had this whole thing. Do you guys want me to read it? I'll read it. Again, I'm not as impassioned, so it probably won't come off as good, but let's see. What does I say? I say, okay, I give my 4. I say 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I say, we'll see. I've not read this over. This is the second time I've read this over. So this could be off the hook. I have no clue what's going to happen. I don't think it's going to be that crazy, but, I would say, all right, number 1, have a good draft. Number 2, play the right players. Number 3, make the right acquisitions. Number 4, don't be afraid of a trade. Keys to winning in fantasy. Simple as that. You don't need some special scoring type. Talking about referencing Connor's request to score against the median or whatever. Or special help with the waivers. Talking about his request for rolling waivers. All of the libs out there, plug your ears. Hike up your skirt, yank out your tampon, and be a good fantasy manager. Don't be a little bitch and want things to change around you. I'll try to do, this is me, I'll try to make things more fun for the league. But I think it's fair right now. I think it's a pretty fair structure that we have. And then I go on to say, you want a good team? This is kind of classic, like, I don't know. I feel like Bill Belichick might give the speech. You want a good team? Go make one. Start with a good draft. Like I said earlier, takes a week of prep, maybe 3 mock drafts, to see where you fall and what type of players fall around you. And if you realize you aren't going to get a good player where you wanted, adjust to it. It's that simple. And then, just to kind of wrap up, I guess what I was saying is, week to week, yeah, it stinks to lose against your opponents. And if you make the wrong call, sometimes you make the wrong call, and sometimes you lose. But it's a long fantasy season. There's plenty of time to reverse your fortune and make those right calls the next week and win some games. So, it didn't hit as hard this week because I wasn't so impassioned when I wrote that, and I wasn't like mad. Like I know this is you're probably all gonna be like, oh, Johnny was so mad that night. I promise, I was not mad. I just remember being like kind of thinking it would be funny if I stood up on my soapbox and gave kind of like a get off your ass and work, like Kim Kardashian type rant. But because I've kind of chilled out about it, it didn't carry the same weight. So anyways, thank you guys so much for coming around to the podcast. It's been good. Another good week. Can't wait for what we have ahead in store. I don't know. I think it will likely be bi-weekly episodes still. So, we'll see. I don't know. I guess we'll see how I'm feeling next week. But if I'm feeling good, then I'll record an episode. But if I don't have the time or whatnot, don't feel like doing it, then I'll see you in 2 weeks. All right. So take care. Have a great couple weeks. Can't wait to see some of the boys in East Lansing. Forgot about that. Shout out Luke and Connor. Can't wait to see you guys. So, talk to you guys soon. Bye.